Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's video, we are going to clear one of the most important concepts in machine learning, errors in classification. We will start by understanding what errors actually mean in classification, then explore different error functions like absolute error and square error. After that, we will compare them to see their pros and cons. But that's not all. We will also dive deep into log loss, what it is, how it works, and why we don't just rely on accuracy or adding errors. I will explain why logarithms are used in log loss, break down the formula step by step, and finally walk you through an example scenario to make everything super clear. So stick with me till the end because by the time we are done, you will have a crystal clear understanding of classification errors and log loss. Let's get started. Now let's start with understanding error in classification. Whenever we build a classifier like logistic regression, it's important to check how wrong our predictions are. For this, we use something called an error function. Think of it like a formula that compares two things, the actual or true label and the prediction made by our model. A good error function works very simply. If the prediction is correct or close to the actual label, the error should be small. If the prediction is wrong or far away, the error should be large. And finally, we add up all these errors from every data point to understand the overall performance of the model. So in short, error functions help us measure how good or bad our classifier really is. Now that we know why error functions are important, let's look at the three most common ones used in classification. The first is absolute error, which simply measures how far the prediction is from the actual value. The second is squared error, which takes that difference and squares it, making larger mistakes count even more. And finally, the most widely used one in classification is log loss, also called binary cross entropy. This one not only checks whether the prediction is right or wrong, but also how confident the model was about its prediction. We will go through each of these step by step to understand them better. Alright, let's talk about the first error function, absolute error. This one is really simple. It just measures how far the prediction is from the actual label without worrying whether the model predicted too high or too low. So the closer the prediction is to the true label, the smaller the error, and the farther it is, the larger the error. Let's take an example of spam email classification. For the email, win a free iPhone now, the true label is spam, which is 1. Our model predicts 0.90. The error is just 1 minus 0.90, which is 0.10. That's small. So it's a good prediction. For let's meet at 3 p.m., the label is not spam, which is 0, but the model predicts 0.45. The error is 0 minus 0.45, which is 0.45. That's a bit larger, meaning the model was uncertain. For free gift for you, the label is spam, which is 1, but the model only gave 0.30, so the error is 1 minus 0.30, which is 0.70. That's a big mistake. And for team meeting at 10 p.m., the label is not spam, which is 0. The model predicts 0.05, so the error is 0.05. Again, a very small error. So the key takeaway is when predictions are good, the error is small. When predictions are wrong or uncertain, the error is higher. That's why absolute error is very easy to understand and great for explaining the basic idea of prediction quality. Now let's move on to the second error function, squared error. This one is very similar to absolute error but with one small twist. Instead of just taking the difference between the actual label and the prediction, we square that difference. So the formula looks like this. Error is equal to actual label minus predicted probability, the whole square. By squaring the difference, big mistakes become much larger while small mistakes stay very small. Let's understand this with the same spam classification example. Email A is spam, label is 1, prediction is 0.90. So the error is 0.01. That's a very small error. Email B is not spam, label is equal to 0, but the prediction was 0.80. The error is 0.64. That's quite large, meaning the model was very wrong. Email C is spam, label is equal to 1, but the prediction was only 0.30. The error is 0.49. Again, a big mistake. Email D is not spam, label is 0, prediction 0.05, and the error is 0.0025. Almost perfect. So the key takeaway is when predictions are correct, squared error stays very small, but when predictions are wrong, the error grows much bigger because of the squaring. That's why squared error is often used when we want to penalize big mistakes more heavily. Now let's quickly compare absolute error and squared error. Absolute error is calculated as the difference between the true label and the prediction. It's simple and easy to understand, but it's not very sensitive to big mistakes. Squared error, on the other hand, squares the difference. This means larger errors get amplified, so the model gets punished more for big mistakes. But here's the problem. Neither of these error functions are very good for classification tasks. Why? First, the output range is very small. Even for badly wrong predictions, the error still stays between 0 and 1. That means the gradient or the update signal for training is very weak. Second, these functions don't work well with the sigmoid or softmax functions that we use in classification. The derivatives become too small, which makes learning very slow or unstable. So what's the solution? Instead of these, we use cross entropy loss, also called logistic loss. The loss function works perfectly with sigmoid, penalizes wrong predictions heavily, and makes training much faster and more reliable. Now let's talk about the most important error function in classification, log loss, also called logarithmic loss or binary cross entropy. Unlike absolute or squared error, log loss is designed especially for models that give probabilities like logistic regression. So what does it do? Log loss measures how well the model assigns probabilities to the correct labels. In other words, it checks, is the model confident about the right answer, or is it making the wrong prediction with high confidence? Here's how to think about it. If the true label is 1, we want the prediction probability to be very high, like 0.95. That's a great prediction. But if the true label is 1 and the model predicts 0.05, that's a terrible prediction. So log loss punishes the model more when it's confident but wrong. The formula looks like this. Log loss is equal to minus y into log p plus 1 minus y into log 1 minus p. Here, y is the actual label 0 or 1, p is the predicted probability between 0 and 1. The key idea is log loss doesn't just care if the model is right or wrong, it also cares about how confident the model was in making that prediction. That's why it is the preferred error function for classification. Okay, now let's see how log loss works in practice with a couple of examples. Example 1, a good prediction. The actual label is 1 and the model predicts 0.9. If we put this into the formula, we get log loss is minus log 0.9. That comes out to around 0.105. Since the error is very small, this is a good prediction. Example 2, a bad prediction. The actual label is still 1, but this time the model predicts only 0.1. Now the formula becomes log loss is equal to minus log 0.1, that gives us about 2.302. This is a very big high error, which means the prediction was very bad. So what's happening here? Log loss gives small errors for correct and confident predictions and huge errors for confident but wrong predictions. That's why it's much better than absolute or squared error for classification tasks. Now you might be wondering, why don't we just use accuracy or simply add up the errors? Well, here's the problem. Accuracy only checks if the prediction is right or wrong. It doesn't care about how confident the model was. For example, predicting 0.51 for spam or 0.99 for spam both count as correct in accuracy, but clearly 0.99 is much better. Similarly, if we just add or multiply raw errors, it doesn't work well with probabilities. For example, being off by 0.01 and being off by 0.99 look almost the same in raw error terms, but in reality, they are completely different levels of confidence. And this is where logarithms come in. Logs punish confident wrong predictions very harshly while still rewarding confident correct predictions. That's why log loss works much better than accuracy or raw error sums for classification models. Alright, so why do we actually use a logarithm in log loss? There are a few key reasons. First, it penalizes confident wrong predictions very heavily. Second, it rewards confident correct predictions with a very small loss. And third, it's smooth and differentiable, which makes it perfect for gradient descent and training. On the other hand, absolute error or squared error don't punish mistakes enough, and simply adding or multiplying errors doesn't give the model a clear learning signal. The best way to think about this is with a teacher analogy. If you are confident and correct, the teacher gives you almost full marks, a small loss. If you are confident but wrong, the teacher deducts heavily, huge loss. If you are unsure, you get a medium penalty. That's exactly how the logarithm in log loss helps model learn effectively. Now let's carefully look at the log loss formula. The formula is log loss is equal to minus y dot log y hat plus 1 minus y dot log 1 minus y hat. Here, y is the actual label, which is either 0 or 1. Y hat is the predicted probability that the label is 1. Now let's break this down into two parts. First term, y dot log y hat. This part only works when the true label is y is equal to 1. It checks how confident the model is about predicting the positive class. If the prediction y hat is close to 1, log y hat is close to 0, so the log is small. But if y hat is close to 0, log y hat becomes a large negative number, meaning the loss becomes huge. So this term punishes the model if it gives a low probability to the correct class when the true label is 1. Second term, 1 minus y dot log 1 minus y hat. This part only works when the true label y is equal to 0. It checks how confident the model is about the negative class. If the prediction y hat is close to 0, log 1 minus y hat is near 0, small loss. But if y hat is close to 1, log 1 minus y hat becomes very negative, leading to a very large loss. So this term punishes the model if it gives a high probability to the wrong class when the true label is 0. In short, when y is equals to 1, the first term matters. When y is equals to 0, our second term matters. Together, they make sure the model gets punished heavily for being confident and wrong and rewarded when it's confident and correct. Okay, let's understand log loss with some simple examples. Case 1. Suppose the student actually passed, so the actual value is 1. Our model predicts 0.9, which is very close to 1. When we put this into the formula, the log loss comes out to around 0.105. That's a low number, which means the prediction was really good. Case 2. Again, the student actually passed, but this time the model predicted only 0.2. That's very far from the truth. The log loss jumps to around 1.6, a high number, which shows it was a bad prediction. Case 3. Now the student actually failed, so the actual value is 0. The model predicts 0.1, which is close to 0. The log loss here is again 0.105, a small value, which means the model did well. Case 4. Finally, if the student failed, but the model predicts 0.8, that's way off. The log loss shoots up to about 1.6, which is bad. So in short, log loss means the prediction is good. High log loss means the prediction is bad. Alright friends, that's all for today's session. We learned how log loss works with some simple examples and saw how good and bad predictions affect the error value. I hope this video made things clear and easy for you. If you found it helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to support the channel. Thanks a lot for watching. Keep learning and I will see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye and take care.